so we have gone over what hair porosity is, the difference in the characteristics of low porosity and high porosity. We also went over one of the tests to test your high porosity. I do apologize that the videos are broken up. I'm going to work on making sure that they're all together moving forward, but thank you for your patience. So on to the next test. The next test is going to be the float test. So a lot of people have probably saw videos of this, or pictures, and I see one was even shared, so thank you for that. But I do want to make sure there is a disclaimer on this. Like in the previous test, there are a few things that aren't told in these posts, so I want to make sure people are getting the correct information so that they're able to get accurate results. So first, just like the previous test, you want to make sure that your hair is clean. So with this test, since you are going to be putting the hair that is shed into this water, make sure that it is clean. So here's just a little bit of my hair, as you can kind of see. Okay. So there's just like two hair strands, I think, twisted around each other that just naturally shed. So the first thing I did was clean it. So washed it down with you can use a regular shampoo, or you can even use Dawn just to get everything off of the hair, because you don't have to worry about damaging it because it's not in your hair anymore. So with that, now that you have a clean few strands of hair, you're going to get a glass of room temperature water. So that's another thing that may not be shown in the videos, or especially in the pictures. If it's too cold, you'll notice that even high porosity, it has a hard time with absorbing the cold water. So, and if it's too hot, even low porosity can absorb the water. So make sure you get room temperature water, clean hair. Now with that, you are going to just put it in. You're going to just drop it in and let it sit for 2 minutes. So I don't know if you can see. But yep, so I have the hair in there, and right now it's just kind of floating, but you want to give it about 2 minutes and just let it sit. So during that 2 minutes, do whatever you want, but then you come back and check. If after 2 minutes, I already know my hair is low porosity, so mine's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to continue to sit up top. But like I said, you probably see, okay, you can kind of see. So you can kind of see the hair just floating at the top. It hasn't been 2 minutes, of course, but if your hair stays floating at the top, you want to make sure it's fully, let me see. So, see I pushed it all in there? Ooh, that's all, there you go. So you want to make sure all of the hair is wet and it's just sitting in there, like I said. And then if it stays at the top, that means your hair is low porosity. If it moves to the middle and it just kind of sits, let's say it sits right about here, then you have medium porosity. But if after 2 minutes you find it at the bottom, that means your hair is high porosity, which, like I said, that means that your hair absorbs moisture very quickly. And that's why it's able to go all the way to the bottom, because it absorbs the moisture, which makes it heavier, which in turn brings it down to the very bottom. So that's the test. Those are the two tests. Like I said, we have the H2O test where you spritz your clean hair to see how it reacts, or you have the float test, which a lot of people like because you're actually able to get a good reference of kind of what that looks like and see it. Remember, your hair can be different porosity in different areas. So now that we know hair porosity, hopefully that cleared up any kind of confusion, or if anybody still had questions about what their hair type is, hopefully that answered all the questions. Now that you know your hair type, now what? So now that you know your hair type, this actually gives you the key to finding the products that are right for you. So for low porosity, you want to use lighter products. That includes lighter butters and lighter oils. Gel during this challenge is not recommended, mainly because your hair is not able to get in any moisture. That also includes with silicones, they block the hair from moisture. So, but with low porosity, find products that are directly for low porosity hair. So I am the owner of 4 Curls. So We do have low porosity and high porosity lines, but as I said, with this challenge, there's no products that are required. So as I'm mentioning the ingredients, you can actually go out there and get it yourself and make a DIY from these. But mango butter, I would say, is the number one thing. Whether you have low porosity or high porosity, it's a medium butter that's going to melt right down. It doesn't leave a white residue, and it's not going to block your hair from getting moisture like some heavier, like coconut oil. Some people do like it, especially if you have high porosity, you're able to use it a little bit more. But I will say with coconut oil, the only thing is depending on the temperature. As you know, if you set coconut oil where it's hot, it's going to melt. So it's going to be more liquidy on your hair. But then if you get cold, it's going to solidify, which blocks anything from getting in. And then shea butter is good. If you do have high porosity, then you can use shea butter. But if you have low, I highly don't recommend it. And that's just because it is so heavy. That once again, if you have low porosity, your hair cuticles are already tight, so you don't need anything constricting that. So with some of the lighter oils for low porosity, you have jojoba oil, avocado, argan, and what else? And just any other like olive oil as well. Those are really good ingredients to use. Like I said, you can go out and buy them and mix up your own concoction. There's plenty of resources as far as DIYs on how to mix it. But the good thing is if you're using it for yourself, you don't have to worry about a long shelf life. So you don't have to worry about a lot of those things. I will say if you are going to be using products, especially during this challenge, please, please, please be sure that you know exactly what's in your products. Check the ingredients. If you can't read them and understand them, and that's not talking about, okay, the botanical name or the chemical name for olive oil. Yes, those are usually Latin words or they're harder to read. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about some of the other substances. If you don't know what it is, please look it up before using it in your hair. That's just a disclaimer for anybody. And then if you have, now we're going, and 4Curls does have a product line, like I said, for low porosity. So if you do want to check that out, just let me know. And then, so now we're going to the others. And low porosity. Use the moisturize and hydrate line if you are doing 4Curls. If not, like I said, use those ingredients and you will be able to make products that will be best for your hair. And we only ship to the USA as well. So now on the high porosity side, like I said, you can still use mango butter. It's awesome. You can use shea butter. And then oils, you can still use olive oil. Olive oil is great. Most of you probably have it in your fridge. I mean, not in your fridge, in your cabinet. And you can still use avocado oil as well. It's a lighter oil, but it's good when mixed with other oils. And then another one I would say is hemp seed oil. So hemp seed oil does not have any THC. It's not CBD. It's not any of that. It is a thicker oil that's going to help with coating your hair and locking in that moisture, since high porosity has a hard time with keeping in the moisture. And also you can use a protein. So protein is great for a variety of reasons, but for high porosity, it helps to build the bonds and strengthen the hair cuticle to help with keeping in the moisture. So those are a few things. And if you are going to use 4Curls, like I said, you would use the Strengthen and Restore line. If not, once again, same thing. You can mix those ingredients together and make an awesome hair butter and also a hair mask. So deep conditioner wise, I would say 4Curls has banana. Banana is the number one thing. It adds slip, so it makes it so easy to detangle, and that's just for anybody. If you are going to DIY, please make sure that you blend it and then strain it so that you don't get the strings in your hair, because trust me, that would be a pain to get out. Okay, but yes. So that's basically hair porosity. Let me know if you do have any questions, or if this was able to clarify any questions that you did have as far as your porosity goes.